Shalom Aleichem, everyone. We're continuing Hachzeg's learning of the Pele Yoetz, day number 154, beginning a new chapter called Goder, making boundaries, making fences for yourself in the world of Avodas Hashem, and controlling the taivas, controlling the desires and the things that bring us into the world of hate, of sin. Zu mitzvah al kol echad mi Yisrael. This is a mitzvah that is incumbent upon every single member of Klal Yisrael. La'asais gader kedei shelo lavar al haTorah. You must make boundaries for yourself in order that you will not trample upon the Torah itself. Dichsiv, like it says in the Torah, ushmartem es mishmarte, guard my guardings, which means upersha Rabbi Zal. Chazal explain, Asu mishmeres and mishmarti, you make a guarding for my mishmarti, for my guardings, my mitzvahs, which means make boundaries, make fences for yourself so that you will protect the mitzvahs and do them properly. Va'akoi lefi mashu adam, every person has to do what's according to their abilities. Lefi mashu yitzor toikvoi, according to how much their yitzhar is toikif, grabs them. You must make a gather, you must make some kind of a boundary, a safeguarding for yourself. That means that you must asr, you must prohibit those things that are mutter, that are permissible, so that you will not come to be matir, to permit those things which are asr. If you don't learn how to control yourself in the areas that are even mutter, so then certainly you'll end up trampling in the areas where it's asr already. You'll tell yourself, no, it's fine, it's mutter. Someone who is accustomed to drinking a lot. I don't believe that he means a 64-ounce big gulp over here. He means that you're drinking, you're an alcoholic, you have an issue, you drink a little too much by the Kiddush, too much by Friday night, too much by Shabbos day, too much by the Kiddush club, too much by the Chasana, too much by the Bris, too much by the Shalom Zacher. It was one time by a Shalom Zacher, and they were commending themselves and praising themselves. Look how many bottles we finished. Yes, you have a drinking problem, says the Pele Yoetz. What do? Yes, Israel nafshay kol min shtiya. You prohibit yourself from drinking anything. AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. Every sip, any drop of alcohol, tequila, whiskey, scotch, you name it, anything is usher to this person. Because once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. You have an issue drinking, says the Pele Yoetz, make a getter, make a boundary for yourself. I'm not going to drink at all. And if you need to swear, you swear that you'll never drink again. And you're able to stand up in that particular shavua, that vow that you're making. So then yeshava shavua, take a shavua, take a vow, swear to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that you're not going to do it anymore. Al derech dichsiv, like it says in Tehillim, nishbati, I swore nakayema, and then I was able to fulfill what I said I'm going to do. Lishmor mishpalei tzidkacha, to guard your sacred mitzvahs. So Dovid HaMelech said, that's what I had to do. I wanted to make sure that I'm going to keep things in the right way. I swore to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm not going to do this. I'll do this. And that's the way I was able to keep the mitzvahs properly. Or perhaps maybe you'll make a boundary for yourself that every time that you slip up and you overstep the boundaries over here, and if, let's say in the case of drinking, you end up taking a l'chaim by the Kiddush when you know that it's going to lead to a terrible place. So then you have to pay money. You have to make a kanas, you have to make a fine for yourself and pay money every time. That can't be 10 cents. It has to be something that hurts. If $10 hurts, then it's $10. If it's $20 that hurts, then it's $20. If for you it's $100, then that's $100. That's what you have to give as you're paying your fine for breaking your boundaries. Or you say, you know what, if I do this thing wrong, I'll take a tinus, I'll fast. Or I'll do some kind of other physical pain that I'm going to cause to myself. Anything that you can handle and you'll be able to bear that pain or that suffering that you're going to inflict upon yourself, then you have to do that. Do not transgress the mitzvahs. Do not transgress the averas that you say you're not going to do. V'char kosva mafarshim. The Mefarshim write, and he brings from the Rambam, Sha'afal pi she'omru, even though that we say, Emsoi Shalem, the proper path of Avodas Hashem is Derech Emsoi, is the middle of the road, cannot be extreme, not too much this way, not too much that way, in middle of the road. That's the best way for a person to serve Hashem. Shelo yelech achar moisars v'yisor, you should not go after the luxuries, the extras, don't go after the things that are usher. But also don't separate yourself from the world completely. Don't be too big of a tzaddik and a righteous person. Everything has a boundary. Everything is what should be within the median, which should be in the middle of the road, should be normal. Mashu adam, according to the person themselves. That's all according to the person that's not going in a bad way right now. Who's someone he's an average person. He's not too much this way, not too much that way. Says the Rambam, you can't be too extreme with luxuries. You can't be too extreme separating yourself from the world. So be in the middle. That's what's going to be comfortable. That's going to be balanced. That's the way that a person should be. However, but someone that's already going in a negative way, he's going in a bad direction, in a bad path, and he's already losing control of himself. He has to distance himself from this insidious kind of behavior. He has to go to the opposite extreme of what it is right now. And then after many days, when he accustoms himself to being cut off from that behavior, then he can start coming back to the derech hamsai, to the middle of the road, and he will not desist, and he won't turn away from the path that is appropriate. The men of the Great Assembly commanded us already, make for yourselves a siyag, a fence to guard the Torah. This is the Torah. This is the way, the Torah that a person will keep. Torah is kol echad biyadai. That Torah exists in the hand of each and every one of us. Each one has our own way in which we're going to make siyagim. We're going to make the fences. Ligdor gadol liatzmo, make a boundary, make a fence for yourself. Lefi mashu tzarich, according to what it is that you need. What I need is different than what you need. And what you need is what's different from me. Now maybe we'll see there's going to be some general categories, but every person has to be yodei nafsha. They have to know themselves well. They have to know their strengths and their weaknesses. They have to know the koyach of the Yetzer HaTov, and yet the koyach of the Yetzer Hara that is always eating them up alive inside. And therefore, whatever you need to do to protect yourself and protect the mitzvahs and your avodas Hashem, that is what it means to make a getter. That's what it means to make a fence and set things up in the proper way so that we are safeguarded from doing things that are wrong, and therefore we're able to continue moving in the path of righteousness towards Hashem. All the best.